Max Verstappen wins the Spanish GP in the absence of Charles Leclerc after Ferrari DNF. Sergio Perez is second but dissatisfied with Red Bull, George Russell is third, and Lewis Hamilton, who recovered from a first-lap accident, is fifth. After losing power in his Ferrari, Charles Leclerc was forced to withdraw from the race lead in Spain. Max Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix and took the championship lead after Charles Leclerc's expensive engine failure. In a chaotic Barcelona race from start to finish, Leclerc had a comfortable lead until the polesitter had a race-ending Ferrari issue on lap 27. No power!" cried Leclerc on team radio before being called back to the pits. Later after the race, Leclerc said, "I lost engine power and I had to stop. I don't know what the problem is yet, but it hurts," Leclerc said. "We showed we were very quick, but we will have to look at this engine problem so it doesn't happen again this year." Verstappen still had a lot to do after dropping down the order due to an unusual early spin, annoyance with DRS issues, and clashes with George Russell, but he overcame the hurdles to go on a trademark charge after 3 pit stops. He finished ahead of Sergio Perez in another Red Bull 1-2, despite the Mexican's dissatisfaction with team tactics. "We'll speak later," Perez later informed his team that he was angry that Verstappen had been put on an ultimately preferred strategy and that he was also advised not to hold him up when leading in the final stages. The thrilling Spanish Grand Prix also included a superb podium for Russell in the Mercedes, while teammate Lewis Hamilton completed an amazing recovery drive to 5th after a collision and puncture on the first lap. Lewis Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen clash on the first lap of the Spanish Grand Prix, causing the Mercedes driver to puncture. He had run 4th until being passed by Ferrari's Carlos Sainz, as Mercedes experienced reliability issues with both cars in the final stages, but the team will be encouraged by a much improved weekend. Meanwhile, Verstappen has taken his first title lead of the season, turning a 19-point deficit to Leclerc into a 6-point lead. Red Bull has surpassed Ferrari in the team rankings on a potentially important day in the 2022 season, having secured maximum points from the weekend. The Spanish Grand Prix has not always been a classic in terms of excitement and racing quality, but it delivered in round 6 of the 2022 season. The drama began with the first lap. At the front, Leclerc led Verstappen, but a few circuits later, there was contact further back, with Hamilton accidentally tagging Kevin Magnussen. After colliding with another car, the Haas was thrown into the gravel before rejoining, while Hamilton had a puncture and was forced to pit early. "He knew what he was doing," fumed Magnussen, though stewards decided no investigation was necessary. Hamilton was pessimistic over team radio and even offered to withdraw from the race until Mercedes correctly reminded him of the changes that were ahead. At the start, Sainz went into anti-stall and struggled to get away, sliding from 3rd to 5th in his home race. A few circuits into the race, he made an unforced error, spinning into the gravel at turn 4 and dropped to 11th place. He was not the only driver to make the error, as Verstappen spun off at the same corner shortly after. It looked to be a more critical mistake at the time, as he dropped from 2nd to 4th, trailing Russell and Perez. Verstappen beat Perez before a tumultuous era for the defending world champion. He was faster than Russell's Mercedes, although he had intermittent DRS troubles in his Red Bull, which also hampered his qualification. Despite the team's efforts prior to the race, Verstappen's DRS would activate on certain laps but not on others. On one lap, he did gain DRS, or straight-line speed assistance, and appeared to pass Russell into turn 1 before the Briton, who was driving well, fought his way back by. That further fueled Verstappen's rage in the cockpit, but he was given the final boost when championship contender Leclerc lost power on lap 27. Ferrari has yet to pinpoint the problem, simply stating that it is power unit related. Russell was now the race leader, and Verstappen stopped immediately, placing himself on a 3-stop strategy and providing Perez an opportunity to attack the Mercedes, which he did effectively, allowing him to overtake with minimal concern. Perez had a good speed up front, but Verstappen was clearly faster behind him. Red Bull had to make a choice when he demonstrated late race speed on fresher tires. Not wanting to risk wrecking a 1-2, their 2 drivers instructed Perez to step aside, which he did with grace, but he was not pleased with the outcome. Meanwhile, Verstappen maintains his 2022 momentum, winning 3 races in a row. Hamilton had been at the rear of the field for much of the race, but when in the open air in the second half, he showed exceptional speed and moved up to 6th following his 3rd and final pit stop. He overtook Esteban Ocon and then Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, indicating that Mercedes is now an F1 2022 contender. While his race ended on a sour note, with Mercedes detecting water leaks in their engines and instructing their drivers to slow, allowing Sainz to reclaim the lead, it was a fine drive from the 7-time world champion, and one that his team insisted would have been good enough to win without his contact. Valtteri Bottas drove well elsewhere, and Lando Norris's performance is noteworthy given his illness in Barcelona. The colorful Ferrari limped back to the garage, signaling the end of the day. Leclerc removed his helmet and his mechanics clapped him on his back. His race was ended, and he had lost his point advantage. Verstappen has reclaimed the lead in the Formula One standings, while Leclerc failed to finish and now trails Verstappen by 6 points. Ferrari said that Leclerc's car had suffered an unidentified power unit issue. The Italian team tweeted that the race outcome was heartbreaking. "The car has performed well, its pace was good," Ferrari team principal Mattia Binotto said. "We had this problem of reliability that we will have to analyze and resolve, but the season is long and we have a car that is very strong." Verstappen's hat-trick of straight victories in Imola, Miami, and Barcelona enabled him to overcome a lead to Leclerc following the latter's triumph in Austria, his second in the first 3 races of the season. This year, Ferrari has been better than Red Bull at keeping its cars on track. Verstappen's Red Bull has let him down twice this season, failing to finish in Bahrain and Australia, both races won by Leclerc. Verstappen took advantage of Leclerc's mistake to steal a victory that appeared to be his. After teammate Sergio Perez heeded team directives to allow Verstappen to overtake and earn the win, Verstappen led a Red Bull 1-2. Leclerc had taken pole position following a fantastic last lap in qualifying on Saturday. His biggest concern for the race was the high temperatures of 36 degrees Celsius, which would make the circuit more difficult for tires. Before the race, Leclerc had given his recipe for a win: good start, good tire management, and finish first. 2 of 3 proved not enough. Next weekend, the title fight moves to Leclerc's home race in Monaco, with its iconic street circuit in the Mediterranean Principality. "Monaco next weekend is important, but so is this race and so is every race," Leclerc said. "We're fighting for the championship." Ferrari is searching for its first driver's title since Kimi Räikkönen won it in 2007. Leclerc is its best bet in years, if he can get a reliable car. Ferrari offered no instant answers as to what went wrong with the power unit on Sunday night, preferring to wait for a comprehensive investigation at its Maranello facility. After returning the damaged power unit overnight, it got to work on Monday to remove the components and figure out what went wrong. It was revealed that both the turbo and the MGU-H were broken beyond repair, forcing Leclerc to use new parts in the next race in Monaco. "After inspecting the PU from Leclerc's car, we discovered the turbo and MGU-H are damaged and cannot be repaired," Ferrari said in a statement. "However, having fully analyzed the failure and its cause, we are satisfied it did not occur through a design fault or reliability issue with these 2 components or any other elements of the PU." According to Ferrari's statement, the incident was thus a one-time occurrence, caused either by external conditions or by the way they were utilized. The power unit Leclerc was using in Spain was his second of the season, so Ferrari must decide whether to utilize the same components he used at the start of the season or to use new ones in Monaco. Because F1 regulations limit drivers to only 3 MGU-H and turbos for the whole season, the loss of those parts so early in their lives opens up the possibility of a grid drop later in the year if he takes the 4th set. After Leclerc's retirement in Spain, Ferrari said that there had been no notice of any problems with his power unit during the race. Team principal Mattia Binotto said, "It was a sudden issue. I think we learned it first from Charles, first going on to the radio, and then from the engineers looking at the data, so it was really sudden." Do you think Ferrari will overcome their car troubles? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Bye!